Experts say that you need to read the annual report of a company to do its fundamental analysis and to figure out whether you can invest into the company for long term. But if you look at it, the annual report is a freaking 400-page document. How can someone actually practically read it? Do you face the same problem? Then let's talk. Welcome to the 13th video of the complete learning series of stock market investing and trading. As always, I put all the videos into a playlist. The playlist is available here in the I button. Make sure you watch all the videos, learn really well. Let's all invest together and grow together. So it's good to see that all of you are learning or all of you are interested about long-term investing. And as we learned across the last many videos, in order to win in the long-term investing, in order to make a long-term CAGR returns of 16%, 18%, or even 20%, you actually need to pick good quality stocks for your long-term portfolio. And how do you do that? You've already learned it, right? By doing fundamental analysis of companies. And that's exactly what we are going to learn in this video and in the coming few videos. Now, when you get into doing fundamental analysis, we already learned this, right? You have to actually sit down and read a 300-400 page annual report document of a company in order to learn about the company. Now, is that going to be easy? Absolutely not. But that's exactly why I am here for, right? I'm going to make it as easy for you. So in today's video, the agenda is super clear. We are actually going into the annual report of a company. I'm going to take the example of DMart. I hope all of you know the company DMart, right? So we're going to open the annual report of DMart and I'm going to tell you exactly which all sections you should be reading, which all sections you should be carefully understanding. So when you understand this video, then it's very easy. You can open annual report of any company and easily make sense of the large document. I'm going to make it into a very simple process. So that's it. Without further ado, let's get right into it. The name is Shah Shamsuddin. Welcome to Market Scene. First of all, let me congratulate you. Congratulate you for the fact that you've taken this decision that you're going to learn fundamental analysis. Because normally if you look into the industry, if you look around, you can see a lot of people, they see fundamental analysis to be a very boring, also a very difficult task. They think that it is not meant for them because it's reading a very long document, looking at a lot of numbers, and people think that, okay, I don't have a commerce background, I haven't gone through my BCom, MCom or CA for that matter, and because of that I cannot do it. But don't be worried at all. Absolutely don't be worried at all, because I'm going to teach you in such a simple manner that any one of you can actually do a good fundamental analysis. Again, tall claims from me, but I'm assuring that if you follow me, right, all the videos, the way we are going to learn together, then you can do fundamental analysis in a very good manner. Cool? Then mark your attendance. Let's get started. Now, before getting started, two disclaimers. Number one is the fact that we're going to learn how to read and how to make sense out of an annual report today. Now, as we saw in the introduction, annual report is a 300-400 page document, right? So don't be intimidated by it. What I'm going to do for you is, out of the 300 pages, I'll tell you what exact portion should you read in an annual report. Be that of any company, you can follow the same procedure and you can read and understand annual report of any company. Now, disclosure number or disclaimer number 2 is that, as I said in the introduction, we are going to read and understand the annual report of DMart Supermarkets today. I hope we all know DMart, right? Now, the company's name is actually Avenue Supermarts. So the disclaimer is, this is not an actual big in-depth study or an advice or recommendation to buy DMart. Okay, now you might think that since I took it here as an example, DMart is such an amazing company. I do think it's a good company, but don't consider it as an advice or a recommendation to buy DMart stock. Okay? If these two disclaimers are very clear and if you're up for it, then let's get started. Let's start learning, right? So the presentation is back. Very easy to learn when we have a presentation, right? So let's start learning. So the very first car page says that this is an annual report analysis of Avenue Supermart. So by doing this, by doing the fundamental analysis or by reading or understanding the annual report of Avenue Supermarts, which is DMart, you can actually learn to read and understand annual report of any company. So this is just a practical example with which you can learn to learn and read and understand annual report of any company. Cool, let's get started. Now, the very first page, again, as kind of something that we have learned already, right? Which says what is an annual report. I'll quickly read through it. Annual report is a yearly official communication from a company, from a publicly listed company to all its investors, both existing and potential. Okay, this is a 300-400 page document which says everything about the company. The company publishes this once every single financial year, and this contains information for all investors, both existing and potential. That is, all existing shareholders can read the annual report and understand, okay, my company is doing so much, these are the numbers, the last year was so and so, and they are expecting to do so in the coming years. Now, also the potential investors, those who are considering to invest into a company, can again read the annual report and understand, okay, this is how the company has been performing, this is how the company is planning to perform, okay, let me consider whether to invest into the company or not. So it is the yearly official communication, simply put. Now, the annual report contains all these things. In a larger overview, we could say that the annual report contains all these things. Number one, the overall business outlook. Number two, the industry outlook, the industry in which the company is present, how the industry is shaping up as in detail discussed in an annual report. The financial statements of a company. What are the three financial statements of a company? We've already learned. You should be able to tell. Right? P&L statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. Right? These three are the financial statements of a company. Then an annual report might contain marketing content. Why not, right? Because this is an official communication coming out from the company. So they'll definitely fill it with some marketing content as well. They'll push some good things about the company. So you should be really careful when you read an annual report, because you have to know which is a proper actual data of a company and which is actually being pushed as a marketing content from the company. And finally, the company would also have a lot of forward-looking statements, where they would actually say, okay, how we are planning for the coming future, what are they planning for the future, and stuff like that. Moving ahead, now you understand what an annual report is. Now let's discuss about why people don't like to read an annual report. Now, AR here is annual report, okay? Because we see a lot of people would like to invest for the long term. They want to know which is the next multi-bagger stock to invest for the long term to make their investment go 10x, 100x, 1000x. But a lot of them do not like to read annual report. Now, the reasons are very simple and straightforward as listed here. Number one, annual reports are very long, 300, 400 pages long. So normal people, they find it very difficult to go through it, right? Number two is annual reports are jargon heavy. That is, annual reports normally use very difficult, complex terminologies, and normal people feel that, okay, I'm not understanding anything, let me shut it and let me go away. So they are jargon heavy. Third reason is lots of marketing material. So some annual reports might have a lot of marketing material than authentic, true, good data. So you should be wary of such annual reports, right? And finally, important data is always hidden. Think about it, right? There are 300, 400 pages, and out of that, you only need some important data. So those are hidden somewhere in some specific pages. So to find them requires a lot of effort. And for all these reasons, normally people do not like to read annual reports of companies. Now let's discuss about why annual reports should not be boring. Why you should actually be reading annual reports, right? The first point is, annual report is an actual official document which comes straight from the company, and it contains all official statements of the company. So this is the best source to actually study about a company. So why not read it? If you're interested in a company, if you're considering investing in a company, then reading the annual report is the largest, best thing that you can ever do. So definitely make sure you read annual reports. So it is the cleanest source of data, and you can even know the management sentiment, because the chairman, the managing director, everyone writes in the annual report. So you can actually get to know their sentiment directly from them via an annual report. Now, if you have understood so far what an annual report is, why it is difficult, and why you should actually not consider it to be difficult, and why you should be reading it. Now, if you are pumped to read and understand an annual report, let's discuss the very first important thing. Where can I find an annual report? Where can you download an annual report from? Right. So now, what is the normal process? You like a company, right? Say, for example, that we have taken today is DMart. Avenue Supermarts. Now you see DMart all around you. You see DMart, new DMarts opening all around your city, and you feel that okay, DMart looks good. They looks as if they are growing, and you also know that DMart is listed in the stock market. So you want to study more about the company. And in order to study more about the company, you have to read its annual report. So that is the why for you. You need to read the annual report to understand more about the company. Now you need to download and read the annual report. Now these are the three sources from where you can actually download annual report of a company. Number one is the company's website itself. You can easily go to DMart's website. There would be a section you can download the annual report. Same goes with any company. Okay, any company's annual report you need, you can go to the company's official website and download from there. The second source is NSE or BSE's website, National Stock Exchange or Bombay Stock Exchange website. You can go there. There is a section you can easily go there and download annual report of any company. Now the third source is what I personally use. These are third-party websites. Now we've already learned this in the previous video. The tool I personally use is Tickertape. So it's very simple. You come to their website. It's www.tickertape.in and you search for the stock in which you're interested in. So in our case, it's DMart. Okay, I've searched for DMart. It's Avenue Supermarts Limited. I'm clicking on it. I'm going into their financials and I'm coming down and I see annual reports here, right? So if you actually scroll here, you can see annual reports of each previous financial year. But again, for this example, let's download annual report of financial year 2022. Okay, I'm clicking on it and see, the annual report has opened here. Now, as I said before, if you scroll down, there are a lot of information here, right? And very happy to see the very respected Mr. Radhakishan Damani sir here, who's the founder and the current chairman of DMart, right? I hope all of you know this very important legendary story of Mr. Radhakishan Damani sir. Anyways, coming down, we can see multiple pages here having a lot of graphics, a lot of numbers. See, a lot of numbers, a lot of data. See, it is just endless. You can just scroll down and down and down. That much data is here. And as I said, as we began, there are 229 pages overall in the annual report of DMart. So that is the annual report of DMart downloaded. Now it is about going through it and making sense of the annual report. Again, I know you are intimidated. You already saw an annual report, a lot of pages, a lot of data. But as I said before, I have a super important, super valuable strategy for you when you are understanding an annual report, right? That is the 80-20 rule on annual report. Now, the 80-20 rule or the Pareto principle is a very famous, very universal strategy. It is a rule, right? The Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule says that 80% consequences of any activity actually comes from 20% of causes. Right? You can definitely read more on this. Now, if we actually take the Pareto principle into our perspective, into utilizing when you read an annual report, it actually says that 80% of whatever information that we need can actually be understood by reading 20% of the pages. That is by actually not reading more than 40 or 60 pages of the whole 300-400 page document, you can actually get almost all the information and data you need. Now you are thrilled? Now the purpose, the agenda of the video is I'll actually go ahead and tell you what all are those 40 or 60 pages you need to read. Out of the 200, 300, 400 pages, you need not look into the other pages at all. You can chuck off the other pages. You only need to read this 40, 60 pages. Not just in the case of DMart's annual report, in the case of any annual report. Now I hope you are interested and excited, right? Now you're not intimidated, I believe. You can forget all the remaining pages. You only need to focus on the exact pages I'm going to teach you. Okay? And it is universal in case of any annual report. Cool? So kudos to Pareto principle. It has made our process super simple here. Now let's come here. The 80-20 rule on an annual report is the following. These are the 20% of the stuff in a very large wild annual report that we should be focusing on. Number one is business information, which tells us everything regarding the business of the company. Number two is corporate information. It tells us more about who is running the company and what is the structure within. Number three is the chairman's letter. The chairman, with a lot of heart, every year in the annual reports writes about the company, how it has been performing and how it would perform in the coming years. Number four is the board's report. It's also called the director's report. report. Again, contains a lot of valuable information and data about the company. The next is the shareholding information. Who are the different shareholders in the company? The next one is the report on corporate governance. Now, corporate governance is how well the company is run. What is the organizational structure of the company? Is the company run in a very efficient manner? And finally, the last 2 points, if you see here, they are marked in bold, because those two are the most important things that you should learn and understand about a company. Number one among that is management discussion and analysis, and the last one is the consolidated financial statements. Now you might be a bit intimidated again, seeing all these different things. How can or where can we find these information in the annual report? And that's exactly what we are going to do in the coming slides. Let's get started. In the coming slides, one by one, I'll teach you where to find business information from, where to find corporate information from, where to find chairman's letter in an annual report. We'll be learning everything. So the first one is business information, or it can even be called corporate overview of a company. Now, if you see in the slides here, I'll also be mentioning the page number here. Now, this is the page number in DMart's annual report. See, I've already downloaded this. I've already prepared the PPT. So I have the page numbers already marked here. Now again, these page numbers apply only to DMart. You're learning only with DMart. Now say you go to a Tata Motors, download a annual report and try to learn. How would you find the page numbers? So it's very easy, right? I'll teach that to you first. So whatever you need to find, you can easily come here and you can find it in the table of contents. Whatever you're looking for, right? You can find it here. In case you do not find it in contents, you can always do a find here, do a command or a control F, and you can search for whatever you are searching for. Okay, in our case, I have mentioned the page number here. So the first thing we are going to learn is business information or corporate overview of the company. It says about the business model of the company, that is what exactly the company is doing. Number two, it talks about the products and services about a company. Now, in case of a DMart, we know exactly what it does. We know its business model. It is a retail chain operating all across India. We know it sells a lot of things that we normally find in a supermarket or a hypermarket, right? It tells about the history of a company. It also tells about the expansion strategy of the company. It also talks about key performance indicators. Now, what are key performance indicators or KPIs? KPIs are numbers or metrics. They're simple numbers. Basically, they're indicators telling how well the company is run or how well the company is growing. Now, let's go here. As I said, DMart's business information or corporate overview can be found in page number 5. Okay, I'm going there. I'm just typing in 5 here. I'm just typing in 5 here. Okay, we have reached here, right? So they're talking about DMart. They're talking about their history. As I said here, right? They talk about their history as well. Let's come down. We can understand what they stand for. What is their mission? To be the lowest price retailer in the area of operation or city or region. Makes a lot of sense, right? So I'm not actually going into depth here. You can actually take it as an assignment. Download DMart's annual report and go through it and understand more about the company. Basically, we can understand that this talks about everything about what they stand for. We can come down and see presence and expansion strategy. In 2002, they were only in Maharashtra and they have grown, and how crazily they are growing. And of late, they have covered these many states in India. Amazing, right? Now, coming down, we can see what are the key product categories with a lot of numbers here as well, right? So if you see here, food section actually contribute 56% to their revenue, and this is in the current financial year 2021-2022. Last year the contribution was 57.4%. It has actually come down a bit. If you see here, non-foods segment, which is FMCG category, is contributing so much to their revenue. General merchandise and apparel is actually contributing so much to their revenue. A lot of important data, numbers and stories of the business given in the annual report, right? Now coming down, these are the key performance indicators. Revenue from operations, how much revenue they are making from operations. And look at this, every year it's almost growing. And very interesting, this is in crores. Okay, financial year 1920, they actually made 24,000 crore rupees of revenue. And in the latest financial year, they made 30,000 crores of revenue. So revenue is growing, as you can see here. EBITDA. What is EBITDA? No worries, we'll learn in the videos coming up ahead. Then profit after tax. This is the profit the company has generated after all taxes paid. Amazing. It's growing year on year. And the last year, they actually made a profit of 1,616 crores. So everything regarding a company we can learn from annual report, and lot more data actually given here. So you can go through this. And what is this segment? Business information. So out of the 229 pages, the first thing you need to read is these first 5-6 pages, right? 6-7 pages. That is it. Then you have already covered business information, which is the number one thing that I said you should be reading. Cool. Then now let's move ahead to corporate information. Corporate information, as I've already mentioned here, can be found in page number 29. So I'm quickly moving down to page 29 here. Okay, now let's understand what all we should be, or what all we are actually learning from corporate information. Now basically we are learning everything about the management and the team and all the associates who are basically running the company, like board of directors, senior leadership team, the auditors of the company, and the bankers of the company. Now this is very important, right? Now even if you look into the startup ecosystem, the startups are basically able to raise funds when they have a very good team. So a team is very important, because ideas do not matter in today's world. What matters is execution. So we should really carefully learn who are running the company, who are the board of directors, who are the leadership team, what is their background, are they capable of running the company. We should be learning everything like that. Now let's go into page 29 and let's start understanding. So first thing they are talking about is the board of directors. Now first thing I see here is Mr. Ignatius Navil Noronha. Okay, so he is the managing director and CEO, a super important person, right? Now when it comes to DMart, we all know Ramesh Damani sir is the chairman. So he is the chairman. So chairman never gets into the day-to-day running of a company. Who takes care of the day-to-day running of a company? A managing director or a CEO. So in that case, the most important person here is this guy here, Mr. Ignatius Navil Noronha. So he's the MD and CEO. So normally what you should do here is, whenever you're studying a company, when you read the CEO or MD's name, you go into Google, okay? So you copy the name, you go into Google and search for the person. Maybe get into his LinkedIn profile or watch a few of his interviews and understand who he is, and look into his background. Where is he coming from? What was his previous work experience? Is he actually doing great at this job? So I'm not going into all those basic studies here. You can definitely do. And we also see other important persons in the board of directors. Now we also see Mr. Ramesh Damani here, again a very respected investor here. Now you might mistake that he is connected to Mr. Radhakishan Damani. It's not the case. They are not connected family wise, right? Now coming down, we can see other important people in the company. Very important. I would actually urge you to copy each of their name and go into Google and learn about these people. It's very important. Now let me scroll down to find more information here, right? Now we saw board of directors. Now we can see the senior leadership team. A lot of names being repeated here is also something that we can see. So here also make sure that you actually read and understand and learn about all of them. It's very, very important, I'd say. Now coming down, all this important information are given in a glance. Board of directors, committees of the board, the bankers that the company is using, the auditors that the company is using. So all the important information, which are the corporate information, we could see in a glance in this page. So even if you see here, you only have to go through what, 3 or 4 or 5 pages and you're done. You've learned about the corporate information about the company. Now moving ahead, the next thing we have to learn and understand is the chairman's letter. So in the chairman's letter, we can actually understand the high level overview of the company, the industry overview, and we can also get some very important business insights also. So in DMart's case, you can actually find it in page number 13. Yes, we can see message from the chairman, Mr. Ramesh Damani, right? So see, the highlight here is we opened a record of 50 new stores during the financial year. It clearly says that the company is growing. So you can clearly go and read more about the company. It's just 2 pages, guys. 2 pages, read, you'll get a lot of information about the company. Cool? Then let's move ahead into the next thing that we should be learning, which is board's report, or it's even called director's report. It's available in page number 36. So before going there, let's understand what all are we learning from the board's report. Number 1 is subsidiary information. That is, this company, how many subsidiary companies does this company have? Right? Very important to understand, right? Some companies have a lot of subsidiaries opened up. Not good. Some companies have a few very strategic subsidiaries opened under them, which is very good. So it's very important to go and understand how many subsidiaries are there, what all are these subsidiaries doing, and are they actually strategically good for the company. Then it's very good to do that study. Number 2 is the management salary. We should see how much the CEO is taking as salary. We should see how much other people are taking as salary from the company. We have seen this multiple times. A company might actually be loss making or not performing well at all. Still the management might be drawing a huge fat salary, which might not be considered good, right? So it's very good and important to see how much money is being drawn by the directors, by the key professionals as salary. And the next thing is related party transaction. Again, very important, right? When a company becomes big, they start or they might consider some related parties and might do favors for these related parties. So it is very important to understand related party transaction as well, and to make sure there are no or flagged related party transactions. Okay, then let's go and start looking into such things, right? So if you look here, page 36 starts board's report, but again management salary can be found in page 65 only. So here I have shown you page 65. If you are doing, for example, of Tata Motors, then you can actually go into the table of contents, or you can search command F or control F, and you can search for salary, management salary, and then you can find out the relevant page. So first thing we'll understand is subsidiary information. Let's go into page number 37. Okay, page 37. Cool. So here let's see which all are the subsidiaries of the company. See, it starts here. Number 1 is Align Retail Trades Private Limited, ARTPL. So you can easily actually read into this and understand why this subsidiary was created and what this subsidiary does. Very important, right? So the next one is Avenue Food Plaza Private Limited. So which clearly says that it is a wholly owned subsidiary of our company engaged in the business of operating food stalls at DMart stores. Strategic, makes a lot of sense. Good subsidiary, and it's a wholly owned subsidiary. That is nearly 100% of shareholding is by DMart itself. So very good, right? The next one is Avenue E-Commerce Limited. This actually takes care of the e-commerce platform run by DMart. Again, makes a lot of sense. The next one is Nahar Setan Jogani Developers Private Limited, and the last one is Reflect Wholesale and Retail Private Limited. So you can go through them, read about these subsidiaries, and understand about them. The next one what we are looking at is management salary, page number 65. I'm sure you're excited to see this, right? Again, seeing other person's salary is something that we all enjoy. Anyways, coming into page 61, we can see here how much salary managing director and whole-time director is taking. Cool. So as the most important person of the company, Mr. Ignatius Navil Noronha, being the managing director and CEO, is drawing a salary of 4.5 crore rupees every single year. How is this high or is this low? This is well within the limit that a company can give out a salary, and I would say this is fine. I mean, given the fact that the company is actually generating profits in the tunes of 1,000 crores of rupees, drawing a salary of 4.5 CR by the CEO, I don't think this is a high amount. This is absolutely justified as what I believe. And we can see salaries drawn by other people as well. You can definitely come down and see more information here. The next thing we have to learn is related party transaction, page number 38. So this is very interesting when it comes to DMart. We can actually see that, see, related party transaction, and you can read it here, the fact that during financial year 21-22, your company, that is the tone in which the annual report is written for shareholders. So your company did not enter into any material related party transactions. How amazing, right? So it's very clear that they have very good subsidiaries, strategic subsidiaries formed under them, management salary is absolutely justified, and finally no related party transactions which are flagged at all. Very good. Let's move ahead into the next thing that we should be learning, which is shareholding information. So here let's understand who all are the shareholders of the company. Are there mutual funds or institutional investors holding the company, which is a good indication, right? If mutual funds or DIIs or FIIs are major shareholders of the company, which means that it is a signal for us. It means that these large institutions trust the company. That is why they are shareholders of the company. So we can go into this information and find out if there are institutional investors part of the shareholders. The next thing we can look into is the fact that how much shareholding is still being owned by the promoters. If the promoter shareholding is high and good, it means that the promoter still has good confidence in the company, which says that, or which is a signal that we can also trust in the company. So here, number one is shareholding structure. I'll go to page 73 to find it. Okay, page 73 here, right. Very good to see the fact that promoters still hold nearly 74.99% of the company. I would say this is amazing. High confidence shown by promoters. There are companies where promoter shareholding is below 50%, below 30% even. Again, not a great indication always. I would say there are some edge cases where promoter shareholding is very less, still the company can be great. So there are edge cases like that as well, but I am just generalizing a lot of things here for the purpose of learning this easily. An interesting fact here is that in the case of a publicly listed company, the maximum shareholding that a promoter could have is 75%, and in the case of DMart is 74.99%. Shows a lot about the kind of confidence the promoter group has in the company. Now let's look into the remaining public shareholding of the remaining nearly 25%, right? That, and very interestingly, we can see the breakup among the public shareholding also. So if you see here, what is very interesting is individuals like you and like me, individuals own nearly 8.72% of the company. We can also see that foreign portfolio investors own 8.83% of the company. Mutual funds own 6.25% of the company, and you add all of those up, you get the remaining 25%, and you get an understanding of the entire shareholding structure of the company. Amazing, right? The next thing we should look into is the shareholding of this company in its subsidiaries. So we can go to page 45 to see that, right? So it's very simple to see here. So these are the different. Subsidiaries of DMart, and as you can see here, the percentage of shareholding we can see it's 100% in this subsidiary, 100% in this subsidiary, 90% in this, and the 99 and 100 in the remaining subsidiaries. So we can see that most of the subsidiaries are wholly owned subsidiaries, and it's just these two subsidiaries where there is a minor shareholding given to some outsiders. So again, very good to see that as well. Moving ahead, the next information that we should be collecting is report on corporate governance. Yeah. So what are we learning here? What is the corporate governance philosophy of the company? Again, what are the board of directors thinking and doing for the company? And again, related party transactions come here as well. So again, refresher for you. Corporate governance is how effectively the company is run. What is the organizational structure which is being managed by the company? We can go to page 59 to learn this, to read this, right? I'm sorry, it's page number 59. See, corporate governance report. So see, corporate governance philosophy here is here, board of directors and their information is here. You can easily read this and understand about the same. Moving ahead, the next information you need, I'm just going back and refreshing something for you. See, this is what I said we should be learning from an annual report. Only this much. How many pages so far? 20, 30, 40 maximum. Some 20 or 30 more is remaining, and you will be done with doing basic study from the annual report of a company. So much we have already learned. Business information, corporate information, chairman's letter, board's report, shareholding information, report on corporate governance. Two more things are remaining which are very, very important. The next one is management discussion analysis, and finally it's consolidated financial statements. So I'm coming into management discussion and analysis. What all can we learn from here? Here we can actually listen to what the management of the company is saying about the company, its growth, its potential in detail. We can understand overview of the industry, business performance and business risks as well. And as shown here, we can find it in page number 33. See, management discussion and analysis, economic overview, outlook, industry overview, key performance indicators, very important, business overview we can find here, coming down the human capital, information technology, internal control systems and their adequacy, risks and concerns, right? They are in length talking about the COVID-19 situation, because this is the annual report which came out just after 1 year of the COVID-19 outbreak. So this is again very important. Read about this to understand all these about the company. Very important. Finally, let's move ahead and learn the most important things about a company, which are their consolidated financial statements. Now, one very interesting thing here is if you actually scroll up to the table of contents here, right? The table of contents here, right? So you can see that under financial statements, there are standalone accounts and consolidated accounts as well. Okay, standalone financial statements are there for a company. Consolidated financial statements are also available. Now, what should you be reading? You need to read only the consolidated financial statements. Now, if you compare standalone and consolidated financial statements, what is the difference? The standalone financial statements actually give you numbers regarding DMart alone without taking into consideration any of its subsidiaries. But is that what you should be looking into? No, right? When you analyze a company, you should be knowing what the company is doing along with its subsidiaries. So everything put together, you will be finding in consolidated financial statements, the consolidated profit and loss statement, consolidated balance sheet, and the consolidated cash flow statement. That's exactly what is shown here. Consider consolidated statements over standalone statements. What are the three? Balance sheet, profit and loss, and the cash flow statement. Now let's go into them and quickly look at them and just have a glance at them. Okay, the balance sheet can be found in page number 159. Okay. Page number 159. See the consolidated balance sheet of the company. What are the assets of the company? What are the current asset? What are the non-current asset? What are the liabilities of the company? See, liabilities of the company, everything you can find here. Just scrolling down, you can see the statement of consolidated profit and loss statement of the company, right? What is the income, the overall revenue of the company? What are the expenses of the company? And after everything, what is the final profit generated by the company? And coming down, you can also see a statement of consolidated cash flows, the cash flow statement of the company. Every detail, every single number you can find here. How amazing, right? Now these are parts again where you might be intimidated, because in all the other things that we learned, I told you what exactly to read. You can go there, it's written in English. If you have some basic logic and common sense, you can easily understand what's being said there. But when you come here, you might feel that, okay, I need an accountancy degree to figure out stuff. No. Again, what you need here is basic logic and common sense to understand stuff, right? No worries, we'll be learning more in details in the coming videos. But one more thing I would say here is, for example, if you come here, look into the profit and loss statement, they're saying that under the income tab, income head, they're saying revenue from operations in this year is 30,976 crores. Just next to it, they're saying notes. See, notes shown in note number 26. Okay, now here let's understand there is something called notes. Okay, notes, you can actually come down. I've mentioned page number here. It's in 164. Okay, it's very near only. 164. Note number 26. Let's go. Okay, let's find note number 26. So notes actually tell more information regarding to the line item they are mentioned in. So note number 26 was mentioned in the line item of income from operations, right? It said nearly 30,000 crores. Note number 26. Tada, it's here. So income or revenue from operations, from sale of goods, they have got 33,000 crores. From sale of goods on approval basis, they made another 32 crores. Now they are deducting something called cost of goods sold on approval basis. They're deducting a 26 crores. They're reducing tax also. And finally, this adds up to 30,976 crores. So this is page number 188. P&L statement was in page number 160. I'm just going back 160. So I'm just telling you what notes are. So when you read here, revenue from operations is 30,976 crores. And it also says notes 26. So you should be going into notes to understand how this 30,000 crores is made. What all are the different constituents which added up to the 30,000 crores. For example, if you come here, expenses, changes in inventories of stock in trade, that's 495 crores less. Now that has an notes of 28. Now let's go back 188. In order to look in the notes and find out what exactly is constituting it, right? So you can see closing stock is so much, opening stock is so much, and that is where the 494 crores come from. Cool? Now that is it. Now if you learn and understand what consolidated financial statements are, then you are set. Because as we learned, according to Pareto principle, these are the things that you should be learning from an annual report. If you learn so much, if you understand so much, then you are all set. You would understand everything about the business and the company, and what more do you want? I know what more do you want, right? You need to learn how to analyze balance sheet of a company, how to analyze P&L statement of a company, how to analyze cash flow statement of a company, because that's the only missing piece from today's video. Everything else you understand. You can, in fact, whatever company you like, you can go to Ticker Tape, download its annual report and read and understand about the company. But the only thing you wouldn't probably understand is how to make sense out of a P&L statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement, and that is exactly what we will be learning in the coming videos. So yeah, that is it from my side for this video. I know it is a bit lengthy, but such videos take time. I always say, right, I know I'm putting out this content for free on YouTube, but if you look at it, this contains a lot of information. This is a purely educational video. So I strongly believe people with intent, people who really want to learn, would watch till the end and would make sense out of it. So now, if you're a person who watched till the end, I congratulate you. I love you. I respect you. Thank you for watching till the end. Anyways, please do that as well. Go down into the comment section and mark or tell me that you watched till the end. It will make my day. I'll be super happy to see that. But because I know I've looked into YouTube analytics, I know when the video is very long, very less people watch till the end. If you're a person, then you are amazing. So I really would love to know who you are. So that's it from my side. As always, make sure that you like the video, share it with your friends and family, invite them into this learning, growing community. And in case if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you're subscribed as well. So that's it from my side in this video. Let's all learn, invest, trade, and grow together. See you in the next class. Bye-bye.